Giving advice is something we all do, and we do it with good intentions. But have you ever given someone advice only to have them completely ignore it? In fact, many people tend to ignore good advice even when it comes from experts. But why is that? Why do people often ignore good advice? In this video, we'll explore the 5 main reasons behind why people don't follow up on advice. So sit back and let's dive into it. One reason why people don't listen to advice is because they see things differently. For instance, imagine that you have a friend who is in a toxic relationship and you can see the red flags. So you suggest your friend to leave, but your friend might have had different experiences with their partner and decided to stay. This means even though your advice might be well-intentioned, they might not agree with you because they see their relationship differently. But it's not always about how we see things. Sometimes people are simply afraid of the unknown. Imagine you have a coworker who is unhappy in their job and you advise them to look for a new job, but they are afraid of change and choose to stay in their current situation because for them, trying new things can be scary. So sometimes people would rather stick to what they know instead of taking a risk. Another factor to consider is responsibility. Some people don't like to admit that they are responsible for their own success or failures. Take for example a family member who is struggling financially. You advise them to create a budget and tell them to stick to it, but they don't want to accept responsibility for their financial situation and they continue to make poor choices because they don't believe that they have control over their situation. However, it's not just about taking responsibility. Power can make people not listen to advice. It's like being a captain of a ship. You want to show your crew that you know what you're doing, that you are in control. Where taking advice from them can feel like admitting that you don't know everything. Research has shown that when people feel powerful, they may be less likely to take advice. On the other hand, our emotions can also affect our willingness to take advice. For instance, if you are having a bad day and your friend gives you advice on how to feel better, if you are feeling grateful towards your friend, you might be more likely to listen to their advice. But if you are feeling angry at the world and don't want to hear what anyone has to say, you might ignore your friend's advice. Similarly, people carry different intentions when they are talking to you. Sometimes they just want to complain about their problems rather than take actions to solve them. On the other hand, some people don't listen with the intent to understand and they are just waiting for their turn to speak. And most of the time, people just want to share their feelings and they are not expecting any solutions from you but just want to be heard. So before you jump into giving advice, make sure that person you are talking to actually wants it. The reason behind most advices fail because they were not asked for in the first place. So there you have it. From differences in perception and fear of change to anxiety and emotions. There are many factors at play. By understanding others' emotions and knowing where others are coming from, we can better help them overcome their challenges and help them achieve their goals.